Sanke.
I'm a living example of you get punched in the face and get back up, because I'm the modern day Aztec warrior. Welcome back to MMA Underground, your favorite part of Wednesday. I'm one half the dynamic duo known as Buddy V with the one and only
Sam K. And shit, man, we got two phenomenal guests in the building, all the way from the West Coast. Just scored him a nasty TKO this past Saturday. We have the one, the only, the young OG himself, Blakk, back on the show.
Y'all, how y'all doing?
Yes, sir. And we got the one and only from the Scrapyard, Mr. Peruvian Panther in the building.
Thank you. Glad
How you feeling, brother?
Feeling good.
Good.
It's gonna be a fun time. And I mean, Killer, you guys just had an anniversary. I'm gonna have to see that fight because I saw Blakk, the one you had recently, and man, was it different coming into the yard, fighting on some mats and whatnot, going from all the sand fights and stuff you had?
With you, it was a total upgrade. I loved it. Honestly, the moment that we stepped in there and I saw that they had like mats instead of like dirt, I was like, I'm glad I bought some boxing shoes for this event. Most certainly. It's a nice deal.
What's that?
Loved it. I love boxing with the mats instead of the sand. 100%.
Heck yeah. And I know Peruvian Panther has a match coming up with the Scrapyard anniversary. You're fighting the Punisher in MMA, right?
Yes, sir. I'm excited for that one. I feel like it's going to be a pretty fair matchup. Good toss-up with skills.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, you're coming off of a win right now, too. I mean, your first match, you had a loss, and I wonder I was going to ask you, you were able to use that for fuel to come out? Because, I mean, you were just a whole different fighter recently.
Yeah, actually. I really do feel like it was a kind of a test. I don't know if y'all are a little religious, but from God himself, he was like, oh, you want to be a fighter? Let's see how bad you really want this. You know, and I came back from a shoulder dislocation. I basically just got it checked out at the doctor, and they were like, yeah, it came out. And I was like, all right, well, I put it back in. So I got to work towards keeping it that way. And since then, you know, I haven't had any problems with it. I've been actually using ChatGPT, a lot of AI to like search up different like shoulder workouts and stuff. And it's been working for me. I'm on a win streak of 3 different wins now, 2 finishes, and then one three round fight that went to a unanimous decision.
That's what's up, man. That's something you don't always see, you know, fighters who come back from taking their first L, especially when it's the first fight, you know. But to see you come back and not only come back, but, you know, be on a streak, and it sounds like you still got more in the tank. I mean, where does that come from? How do you develop that?
I feel like that's just something I've kind of always had. I've never been known to be anything more but stubborn. You know, my mom was stubborn, come from Latino heritage. We were just kind of born to never give up on anything. If we really, really want something, we're going to try and get it as much as possible. So yeah, you know, I like, even my girlfriend said it. She saw me dislocate my shoulder live, and she said to her friend, that's only going to make him train harder for the next fight. That's all it is. You know, it's just a minor setback.
Yeah. And it sounds like you got smarter too, because, you know, oftentimes you hear guys who get that type of injury, it keeps happening over and over. But to hear that you're having success and learning about, you know, what you can do, that's awesome to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Man. And
Oh, go ahead, bud.
I'm all good. Heck yeah, my bad. I think I got a lag or something.
Now, I was gonna say, Broly, you were kind of on a hiatus for a little bit, and then we seen you come back to the West Coast a few months back with a fight, as well as this past Saturday you had another boxing match. it looked like, even though you were on a hiatus, at least with us with the West Coast, it looked like you've still been active. It looked like you hadn't missed a beat. In fact, you looked like you were a little bit sharper than the last time we saw you. Well, what's been going on? What are you doing in the lab like that?
As you know, in the lab, all we do is work. You know what I'm saying? But naturally, that's it. I've been staying consistent in the gym, training with a lot of different guys. I have some friends that are coming after amateurs or trying to all working towards different careers or career paths. I'm just trying to keep myself sharp. My boy Devin Cooley, who's been training at a Jackrabbit boxing gym, dope, one of the dope young boxers I know out of Long Beach. Like the way he sparring match. Anybody for reference? You need content. See how like the skill I'm developing.
You kind of breaking up. You say that one more time.
Saying like,
Yeah, I don't know who that is. It's either Buddy or Broly.
you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I was just saying, as far as our sparring match that we had after the event last week, the movement, like a lot of that movement and the sharpness all came from training with him. We've been really consistent. We train about 2 to 3 times every week. That's consistent sparring and drilling, going to different gyms, sparring different guys. Like, we even have a fight coming up on July 4th, which is going to be like a $500 out. I originally thought it was going to be like $1,000, $500 for the knockout. I'm guaranteeing that knockout $500. So, but that's all I've been doing, man. I just took in the gym, working myself, and that honestly, I can't think of anything else. All I do is work in gym, bro. Like that's really my life. Not what I've been doing, what I've been up to. It sounds so boring. I do 2 things. I'm either in the gym or I'm at. So.
Oh, we lost Buddy.
Back to ours.
Might be having some Wi-Fi issues. He was saying when he hopped on. But Peruvian Panther, man, walk us through that first fight. I want to, I haven't been able to check that one out. I saw your second fight, but kind of give us an idea of what that first fight was looking like. How did we get to the end result, and then we'll move forward.
So in that first fight, I remember, obviously you get a lot of the first fight nerves. I was very, very nervous. So I was really tense, which didn't help ultimately. But he started off with some kicks. Reviewing the footage, I could tell that he probably didn't have a lot of training. He was throwing with like very little to no form, and I was trying my best to keep myself composed. But every time he struck, I would tense up. And it got to the point where he hit me directly across the face, and I was like, "All right, I feel like I can handle that." So I went to charge him. I don't wrestle, so my double leg was, incredibly bad. I get him up against the cage, and I think slamming into the cage plus me being tensed up just kind of popped it out of place a bit. So I took a step back, and then I was like, I can't move my arm. And then the referee saw a big lump on my shoulder, and he stopped the fight.
Jeez. And the result was they awarded your opponent the victory on that, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, man, it sucks, man. Stuff like that. I really, we were talking before. I really feel like that should be a no contest type of scenario. When there's a freak act, of nature or God, you know what I mean? We should treat it like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
good thing is you're moving forward. You're healthy again, and you're doing what you need to do. I wanted to know, how did you find out about Scrapyard, and what was your entry like? How'd you get there?
So actually, I know the Scrapyard from way back. I was born over there on the East Coast, so I'm nowhere near the Scrapyard for most of my life. But obviously, they blew up pretty big on YouTube, and I've been into martial arts and combat in general for as long as I can remember. It started off with things like Bruce Lee movies, and then obviously that scales to be going on YouTube and finding out what the Scrapyard is, finding out the original Streetbeefs branch in general. I wasn't old enough to fight, but I was always interested in what this was like, and I could see a future in it. As for developing an amateur skill set, it just kind of happened to turn out that I would fall in love with a woman who is in Washington, so I would move over here to be with her, and then coming upon the Scrapyard again, I was like, hey, it'd be kind of cool to fight here, and finding out they're also in Washington State, I was like, I got to make this work. I got to make this happen.
That's awesome. I get chills thinking about that kind of stuff. Like just knowing how, your story could lead to you just making that decision, making a big jump and becoming a part of something that's more than yourself. And it's awesome because now we get to witness the spectacle that is your career, bro. And, just to see you grow and get see you develop as a fighter, that's like what it's all about. So just seeing you chase that dream and like knowing that you've been so into it the same way I am, like I definitely respect that. Somebody who can relate to that. That is something very commemorable, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So, did you sign up? Did you just look them up on Facebook, or how did that go? That part go?
Yeah. So I'm pretty tech savvy. I figured out, I was on their YouTube page and it said sign up on Facebook. I've had Facebook for the longest time, so I just logged back in, found them on Facebook, read the rules. I feel like we get a lot of those people who just don't read the big block of text before they sign up at all. So I read all the rules and I made sure everything was set in order for myself before I signed up and went to my first event. And when I did get there, I believe it was the first event that they were filming for a documentary. So
Okay.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Was that the hot box?
No, he's a Scrapyard fighter.
Oh, right. Okay. Because I remember somebody had did a documentary or a YouTube video outside the last hot box that I was at.
Yeah, that was he's a big YouTuber. I don't follow him, but that guy, yeah, that was he was basically doing a documentary type of deal on us as well, but that was two separate incidents, two separate branches. Let's see, I lost my train of thought. That's dope though, man. I wanted to ask you, what were your thoughts driving into, because I fought at the Scrapyard myself. So what were your thoughts driving into Sasquatch's forest to get to his cage, Fire Chicken's cage?
I literally I compare it to like if you ever played Mario Brothers, that final walk to Bowser's castle, like on the newer ones, on the 3D ones, there's like a big castle entrance. It literally feels like that. There's a narrow road. It's like you'll miss it if you're not looking for it.
Right.
Like, zoom right past it. So you got to find it. You got to go on this narrow road. It's all bumpy. It leads all the way down into these big trees. Again, I'm from Connecticut. Trees don't get this large, anywhere near where I used to live. So
Right.
these big trees you break your neck looking at, and then there's the gate, and he has his whole setup out there. I remember obviously in the videos you see the big steel crates, and seeing those in person and taking a picture in front of them, that was pretty cool. Kind of a surreal feeling, from
Absolutely.
seeing it on camera to in front of my eyes.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because it starts off really beautiful and then it gets kind of sketchy. It gets kind of like, maybe a Sasquatch might really be out here, and then you're there and it's like, oh shit, like it's kind of perfect once you like get there, That's
I think
dope.
it's real cozy. Real cozy.
Yeah. Broly, I wanted to get back to you, bro. What was your entry into Streetbeefs West Coast like? Like, walk us through, that first event for you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It was so much going. You guys can hear me, right? Y'all?
Yeah, you good.
It was interesting, bro. I self-taught. Like coming into Street Beefs, I was literally just in my backyard punching trees bare knuckle, like trying to develop myself. Like I watched Kung Fu Panda growing up, and Tigress was out there punching the Japanese sequoia trees or whatever, or the cherry blossom trees, and she would develop knuckles. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try that. And realized I was doing a lot of damage to myself. Like I need to do something more. So I made myself some gloves out of duct tape, cardboard, and socks, like some old socks.
Whoa.
I legit like was still punching trees because I couldn't afford a bag, but I had to do something to protect myself. Did that for a little while, and then I ended up trying to meet people to train with. Bumped into Skywalker, Simon, one of the guys from 50/50 early on, and he ended up getting me connected with nobody. We trained for 5 months before my first fight, and it was all because I wanted to fight the first month I got there, bro. Like the first month I started training with nobody, I wanted to fight. He was like, I want to make sure that when you go out there, you're ready. So he gave me like 4 or 5 months, and by the January event, 2023,
You remember the number to the event?
it was, I want to say, Street Beefs 6. It might have been Street Beefs, maybe
36.
I think that was like 10 events ago, right? Because that was like I haven't fought before Redline. My last fight was like 2 years or a year before that with Mike 100. So that's about 10 events.
Dang, I forgot y'all had that fight. That was a banger.
What's a banger? And I still the decision made on that fight. But
Scorp says it was a huge March event. That's what he said.
I remember it being it was the January event. Me and Scorpio met the next March event, I'm pretty sure. But I remember my first fight. That was when I fought Unknown. Now, got there, I didn't know who I was going to fight. All I knew was that my coach at the time, Nobody, was supposed to fight someone named Unknown. And I'm thinking Nobody and Unknown, those both sound like very vague names, perfect for each other in a matchup.
Right.
Nobody didn't show up for that fight. So I said, I'll take his opponent because me and him had gotten up to par with each other. Me and him had went toe-to-toe every day for the last few months. I said, I'll take him. And as far as striking went, I'm pretty sure I dominated. But I know that before the fight, he had said he didn't want sand like being an issue. So I stay off the ground, like let's just avoid that. So I think pacifist, oriented. Like I wasn't trying to like hurt the guy, but I was also trying to avoid causing certain issues. I didn't want any excuses or anything to get in the way of like having a great fight. I really just wanted to stand and bang. But he kept trying to take me to the ground, and I was like, all right, man, like, we can do it. But if you take me to the ground, I'm gonna just hold you there. And so I held him there every single time. Like every single time Unknown dropped me to the ground. Mind you, this was my first and only MMA bout. So like I was just thinking like I gotta do something. So I went out there throwing all the coolest little fanciest shit I knew how to throw. I threw obliques to the knees, all types. He got me with the ground game. We ended up rolling around a bit. Never forget my my horizontal right hook straight to his face. I was like, he had me like in a position. He had body slammed after I go. I was just admiring my work after that. I did that. Wow, like I did that. I held him there for a second, and I couldn't really think like what next. So I rolled over, gave him my back, and that's how I got the choke. But even after that, I was just excited that I made it through my first fight, that I had that experience, and I went toe to toe with somebody 3 as a 0-0 first contender. Like that was just be able to have an experience like that for my first time.
Yeah, man. I mean, outside of getting the dub, like that was the perfect match for you. You know what I mean? Because you came in as an unknown name. You know what I'm saying? First timer. You look the part, but nobody knows, right? Unknown, he's an established fighter from the OG yard. He's a current fighting legend in the OG yard. So we know what he about, right? So to see you go toe to toe with him, and then like you said, that punch on the off the ground in the sand, people don't understand how hard that is to do. You know, and it's a beautiful highlight. You know what I mean? Like I think that one punch out, it outlives the fight. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather watch replay that one part over and over. You know what I'm saying? But shit, you've been on a streak ever since. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, with that Mike 100, I realized I couldn't let anything go to decision anymore. I'm trying to establish myself who controls the fight, and fight if you don't get to make the outcome. So I choose what happens. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to leave it to decisions. Let somebody decide. Show them who's the winner.
Mm-hmm. Buddy, we got you back.
Heck yeah, having a good time. And I'll just say, Broly back. We'll say one thing that sticks out is after your fight with Hitman Hamilton, when you're like, I think I can taste my inside.
Yeah, it was a banger. I actually, it's funny. That fight was not even meant to happen, and the way that we went at it without any intent to actually hurt each other was kind of funny because we ended up butting heads so much during the fight because of his I don't know. I guess it was like his impatience or his frustration with the fact that he couldn't really dominate. But I was more frustrated with the fact that he kept spitting that mouth guard out. I mean, overall, it was a great fight, and we won a fight of the day for that, didn't we? Yeah. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I would definitely fight him again. But I heard he has a matchup against Huero at the Hot Box event this month, and I thought that's pretty nuts.
No, at the anniversary.
At the anniversary. Okay.
Yeah. Anniversary next month.
Okay. Either way, I'd love to see Huero always had like some hands on him. Like, you know, technical or not, that man got some bangers waiting behind those loaded guns. So
Thank you.
Facts.
And I know that we got some fun upcoming fights, matches made, Fire Chicken put out for this upcoming event. I was gonna say, Peruvian Panther. Did you have anyone that you're kind of excited to see? Because I know we're all excited for our fights and stuff, but I know there's a couple of people that are gonna, yeah. I'm just waiting to see what's gonna happen. I can't take sides. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I actually, so I train with Obi and with Little Mac. I actually live in an apartment with those guys. So
Which Little Mac?
not the original
Okay.
boxer guy.
Okay. Just had to make sure.
Yeah, he's coming on the scene. He's got two fights so far, but both of his fights are actually super great fights. He's got a upcoming fight against Killer Tricks for the anniversary event. The plan is to run through them. You know, that's what we do. We're undefeated. You know, since I started to know those guys and train with those guys, I didn't know them when I took my first loss. So, but since I've started training with those guys, we've trained in Little Mac's garage. So we call ourselves the Garage. So you'll catch it in my fights when they come out. You'll say fighting out of the garage, you know, and Obi should start saying it too because he fights out of the garage with us. But yeah, those guys, Obi's coming for the light heavyweight title, and then my boy Little Mac is just coming to improve his skill set, go 3-0. So they're both gonna go real big in the scrapyard. I already know it. Obi kind of already is.
Oh, I'm a fan of Obi. Who is he fighting?
He's fighting Flex for the light heavyweight title.
Ooh, damn. Shit, that's this month.
That's July 26th. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, I like that, man. That's a certified one right there.
We have a lot of confidence.
that's right.
I mean, yeah, as you should. Obi's a beast. Flex is a beast too. You know what I mean? Flex is one of those guys who you see really turn into the fighter. You know what I mean? And who turns into, you know, some people know how to fight, but they never become a wrestler. They never become a boxer. They never become a kickboxer. You know what I mean? Like I've seen that guy really turn into a boxer, you know, from a fighter to a boxer, you know? So
he's arguably my favorite fighter out of the scrapyard. It's just
oh, wow.
when it comes to motivation, this time around for my friend Richard for Obi, it's different. He's not one to ever not take a fight seriously, but it seems the title itself has really lit a fire under him. So I'm excited to see what he turns out this time. We've all adopted this do or die mindset now, where we have to put on the biggest performance of our lives, for this anniversary event to really show everybody out there, we're here, we're coming.
I like it. Obi's a beast.
I like that mentality too. You come in and take it. I play basketball with my coach. About it is, I say this every time we get in the paint. I said, I'm not here to ask for no favors. I'm not here to ask for no handouts. When I enter the bank, I take what's mine. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. You go in there and you take what's yours. I like that mentality. Y'all there with the confidence. The confidence ain't what it's about. Y'all know what y'all got. You confident because you know what it is. So I believe in that all the way, bro. And just one thing, like, I know for me, like, having that confidence ain't always what it's about. Just like making sure that you got the consistency behind that confidence to make sure that you can maintain it always, bro. Like, that's why, like, for me, I'm training to make sure that every fight I have, I'm getting better and better every single time. And my fights prove that. So that's why I'm going for it. And that's why I love to see you, like, talk about that, bro. It gives me chills hearing you talk about it. I'm like, to see another fighter, like, even though, like, you got how much do you weigh, bro?
I fight at 145.
145, bro. You're over 50 pounds lighter than me, dog. And you got you got this mindset, this ferocity in you, this confidence of somebody literally whoop my ass. So
it's whoever's put in front of me, man. It's whoever's put in front of me.
That's right, man. Let them know. David and Goliath, what it is. Take them down.
And that mentality, man. So we had a guest, Crispy Carly J. She came on and she was on the amateur series with Dana White and stuff. She ended up losing her fight, but because she put on such a performance, he turned around and gave her a contract, or gave her another fight opportunity. She came out, knocked Homegirl out, I think in like the end of the first round, beginning of the second round, and scored herself a fight contract. I was like, and yeah, so
that's how it's done. Whether it's the first time or the second time around, you got it. It's what's the saying? It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you get hit, and if you keep going.
I love that boy. Can't forget that. That's iconic. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how much you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, I was going to say, Peruvian Panther, the West Coast and the Scrapyard have evolved from the very beginning. And, Broly Blakk, that's for you too. Do you think we might see you guys start traveling around to some other yards, having a couple different backgrounds,
Yeah, I can be the first to say I've been thinking about traveling some, especially after I get this belt. I definitely want to visit a couple of the other yards while I'm a part of Streetbeefs. Because I've mentioned this to a couple guys, but this 2026, I hope to be working on my amateur to pro career. So I won't be doing as much, but definitely still be working. So hopefully within that time frame, I can get some good matchups and travel and see other yards, maybe even meet all of them. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
As for me, I feel like the plan for now, is, at least for the Scrapyard, is to obviously get my hands on that belt, the 145 belt. And then I feel like I'll do that at maybe a fight after the Punisher. I'll call out for the belt. I'll call out whoever has the most skill. Whoever wants to meet me at 145, they can challenge me for the belt. And then after I defend it maybe once or twice, 3 times, kind of cement myself there. Definitely want to get on the wall, just have my name there. Everybody knows I was here, left my mark on the territory, so to speak. I think after that is when is an appropriate time to go amateur, like actually start going around and fighting for maybe some cash, going around to arenas and stuff like that, because my name will be out there a bit more. But we do have plans to move back to the East Coast, me and my girlfriend. So I might be fighting out there over than in Washington. But we'll see where fighting takes me. If you end up going big, you end up going all over the place anyway.
Yeah. What'd you say, bro?
And get multinational. Take it to the world. Show everybody in the world what them hands about. I was actually talking about going to Tijuana the same way Adonis Creed did, and building my out there, getting some fights, making some cash, and coming back, and then going for that pro belt. Sure.
And we talk about it on the show sometimes too. And so I gotta bring it up. The BKFC, bare knuckles, straight up, with both y'all being fighters and wanting to move up. If that opportunity somehow just fell into your lap or came across your path, is that something you might consider, or would you prefer to keep it with gloves?
In all honesty, I would definitely. I've considered it. I've talked about it with a lot of the speculation that I hear is, it's unnecessary damage. Like, we can box, like we can all do it, like, for sport, keep the gloves and like, keep it civilized. And sure, like, if you do it, it does. I would say that anybody that does it is a badass, and I'm never going to test their jaw, like 100%. Like, shout out to my boy Julio. Actually, he does BKF. He's a pro fighter and fighting in bare knuckle now. And coming up, they unfortunately, due to the ICE raids and everything that's going on, it really does affect a lot of the Hispanic fighters that I know, and like a lot of their fights pushed back, or they've trained a lot less just because of the fear of being subjected to those type of situations. And I really do feel for it, and like, you can see it through my page. If you guys go to my Instagram, it's something I do fight for. Like, I stand for the movement of like fuck ICE, and pretty much standing for the rights of immigrants and people in the country, people who are not criminals and live here, work here, and have families and lives here, who are simply trying to exist as well as we are, and trying to make it away from the prophetic state of Mexico, or any other third world countries that are literally, like, these people are not meant to be like taken away from their homes. Like, I feel for it. So, like, sadly, or fortunately, I should say, I'm not going to have to deal with family has been taken, thank God. But my friends are dealing with this, and it's something that I definitely don't want to have to deal with anymore. So chinga tu migra is all I'm gonna say. But on top of that, yeah, it's definitely something I would do, and it's not something that I'm looking venture out toward yet. But as of right now, it is definitely something I respect, and something I love to watch.
I think that's very well said. I just sorry boys, I gotta rush out to an event, but thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Of course, man.
It's all good, man. If you could give the people your socials or where they could see you or meet you.
Yeah, so I'm just the Peruvian Panther on everything. I have a TikTok page right now. I just started it like 2 days ago, so there's nothing on it. And I have a new Instagram page that I started. I separate my MMA stuff from my personal stuff now. But you should be able to find both if you have me on either.
Dope.
Peace
Hey,
out,
well, we
guys.
appreciate you, man. It was a great one.
Thank you.
Here, man.
Back to Brody. So, man, let's tell the people a little bit of what to expect, because your latest fight hasn't dropped yet. I kind of gave people a little detail with the TKO, but I want to get your perspective on the fight
Against Bodacious?
Against Bodacious.
Well, I'd say, like, from the beginning, like when I first saw him, when they told me I'd be fighting Bodacious, I assessed him. I did my size up, and I honestly thought that he had a lot of skill. I thought that he was gonna come in with something a lot more lethal. I thought he'd try to try to take me down with the body from the jump. but he came in with some heavy hooks. Like, you know, he came in with some heavy straights. And I don't know if you saw this, Sam K, but I immediately smiled when I felt his punch. And I smiled because I realized that fight was a bag. I had nothing to be nervous about. I had nothing to, you know, be worried about in the first place. So I was just like, every nerve that I had in my body just got shook immediately the moment he touched me. So from there on out, I pretty much just controlled the fight. Like, you know, I didn't have to do as much head movement. Like, you know, I mentioned this group chat before. Like, I don't hold back per se, but sometimes I don't have to use all of the skills that I have in my my arsenal or disposal in order to defeat the people that are in front of me. So, you know, I literally just I saw what it would take. Like, you know, I started tapping him, started moving around. Like, you know, I hit him with some light shit in my book. Like, you saw the way I was moving in that sparring. Like, you know, it was nothing compared to, like, you know, to that. So obviously, like, I didn't really have to do as much to get around all those punches, but I think it was a pretty good fight. Like, I think he had some fight in him. He didn't give up. It was up to Free Smoke stopping it, like, you know. But I mean, at the end of the day, hopefully I can get one of those one hitter quitters and you know, get the knockout before somebody stops it next time.
Yeah. Hey man, the dub is the dub. You know what I'm saying? And the extras are just extras.
And like, at the end of the day, I got my wins, and I'm getting them early on. Like, you know, I'm not waiting till third. I'm getting them done. Like, you know, it's I let them get that first round so they can have a little faith in themselves, you know, so they can really go all out in that second round, so I can really feel what they come back with. And then if they don't got it, then it's lights out check. You know what I'm saying? It's just time to send you home. I almost did. I almost took him out the ring with that with that barrage of punches. I almost knocked him out. I didn't even know I did that until I saw the clip. I never even knew the gate opened. I didn't know that happened at all. You know me though, Sam K, and I apologize for that one time I swung on you, because you know, when I start getting in there, I kind of just, you know, I forget where I'm
Oh
at.
no, I was cornering you.
Yeah, I know you was cornering this time, but I was saying during Hitman Hamilton. Remember when I you know, I kind of got that.
Oh yeah. I don't take no offense to it, bro. Like I know what's momentum versus what's malicious. You know what I mean? And momentum is just momentum. You know what I mean? I've it's not often I take shots anyway, but you know, when it happens, hey, it happens. You know.
take it though. You ain't. Hey, for anybody watching, don't think that this man is just some guy doing interviews and reffing the fights. Now, this motherfucker right here, okay,
Not me.
watch his fights, bro. He is a dangerous man. I swear to you. Every time we sparred, I get a little. I know you got something in that arsenal. Like, you know, you got something I'm not gonna know that's coming. Like, you always catch me. Like, there's not a single time that you haven't caught me. Like, you know, you're one of those people that's hard to avoid for sure. This guy,
Appreciate it.
and
Right.
you already know, man. Like, you already know we got to talk business on that training, because
Yeah. Definitely wanted to talk about that. Virtual training is something you brought up. And you know what? Like, not only did I told you at the event when you brought it up, you know, I appreciate you being able to even recognize any knowledge that I may possess that you want to know, right? That's credible and commendable on your part, right? But people oftentimes are in situations where fighters are in situations where they're limited on funds, they're limited on equipment, they're limited on training partners, they're limited on coaches and trainers and da 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 da. Da. What can I do? And you know, oftentimes it's us. You know what I mean? It's us and only us who can help us. You know what I'm saying? Like, get with another fighter. If you can't get with another fighter physically to train, Broly done went out. Hopefully he comes back. But good train of thought right here. Get with another fighter if you can. You know what I'm saying? If you can, if you know that there's other fighters in your vicinity training, get with them. You know what I'm saying? You can only get better, right? If you can't physically get with someone, we have the internet. We have video, you know, that we can send to each other. We have live streaming, you know, like there's plenty of things that can be done, and there's a way. There's always a way to train. There's always a way to get some work in, and to get better, you know. So, in rant.
I remember a few years back with the Oni. I remember he did like a couple of lives where he was doing some cardio stuff. I joined in on one of those sessions, and he was just like sitting there right in his yard. He's like, "All right, I got the kids right here." Oh, thank you. And he's like, "All right, we're gonna do this right here." So we tuned in. I was like, "I'll tune in for this episode or this live," and then like 6 other people are tuning in. 8 other people like, "I'm in my living room. I'm doing this. I'm doing that." And I was like, "Yeah." That really made me feel like reaching out, because then I was like, because like you said, cardio is key. And I was always under the impression that people were like running 20 miles, doing wind sprints for 30 minutes nonstop, no breaks. So I was always a little too nervous to train. And after that, I felt a lot more down to earth.
Yeah, man. And sometimes that's all it takes is just asking, just reaching out to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, uh, a lot of the fighters in the community are more accessible than what we may think they are. You know what I mean? And that's the great thing about all of this being online. Everything's accessible. You know what I mean? Like, if I want to reach out, if I want to reach out to Fire Chicken for some grappling advice, I can do that. If I want to reach out to Free Smoke for some Muay Thai advice, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Um, if I just want to reach out to Wade on better ways to train, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it's just simply reaching out and you know, squashing the egos and just saying, "Hey, how can I do this better?" You know, I notice you have a great diet regimen. How, you know, what can I do to, you know, it's very simple, you know what I mean? And you know, that's one of the beautiful things about this community is like, if you treat it like a community, it's a community. You know what I'm saying? And there are people out there to help elevate, you know, those who are trying to elevate themselves.
Absolutely. I'm like, man, come on, Broly back. You got to come back. I like the community helps out, and I'm excited to be training here soon for this event coming up. A lot of fighters are signed up, and there's a few more that I didn't expect live so close to me. So it's kind of sweet to be able to go around. And Fire Chicken, I don't know how he does it. He's like, he can roll for like 45 minutes straight. I'm dripping sweat. I'll be hurling in the corner. He's got someone else hurling, and he's like, "Okay, who's next?" And I'm like, "What the hell?"
He's got his hours in. You know what I mean? And like when you can tell when someone's put those hours in because it shows. Uh, and then when someone doesn't or someone didn't put in those hours, that shows as well. The guys who just hop off the couch and they're like, "Hey, I can fight," you know, versus the guy who's been putting in the hours, who's at that point put in years. Uh, yeah, I'd rather be that guy.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's even a few people when it's like, "Oh, this is my first fight." My coach said I had to train for 3 months before I'd even be able to get in the ring, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right." So yeah, I've been in 100 street fights, never knocked out. 30 seconds in, he's sitting there looking at the sky. Oh man.
Yep. Yep. I don't
And
know if you were on when Broly was talking about this, but Broly mentioned how nobody was his coach and his entryway into Streetbeefs West Coast. And he basically wanted to fight immediately, and nobody made him basically train and sit out for 3-4 months before even showing up to an event. And I think that's key for a lot of fighters, to really give themselves that time to prepare, uh, because you don't know it all. You don't have everything. You know what I mean? Especially when you don't have the hours put in. Um, and and it can help with the ego. So you don't want to necessarily get your ego checked in the ring. You know what I mean? Get your ego checked in training. Get that discipline established before the fight. So that by the time you get to the fight's easy. Now, granted, Broly's first fight was against OG Yards, unknown, so that wasn't an easy fight. But walking in as a newcomer to the West Coast, he seemed not so he didn't seem like a fish out of water. You know what I'm saying? He went up against a vet and he was holding his own for a little while. So that's a testament to nobody and good coaching, good training. With good coaching.
Heck yeah. And I'll leave a quick shout out there and watching to the person that bought the Cardio is Key shirt. Thank you for supporting for during the sale. And that's why you guys tune into the show now. I redid the code for SOMKE, SOMKE, and you get the shirt for $10. $10. Hurry up and go get it.
Shirt is on sale. I think this is the first time it's been on sale. So come on, man. You don't know how long this is gonna last. Go get your shirts. Swellworld.com. $10. The $10 holla. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's my cousin. Shout out Dio. Much love. I appreciate you, cuz.
Heck yeah. And even though we're having fun, I mean, I don't know if Broly Blakk is coming back. I don't know, man. What do you think? Should we hold out another couple minutes, see what's up?
Yeah. Let me have we messaged him or what? Has he messaged us?
I have not seen a message us. No, unfortunately not. And you guys, thank you for tuning in. We're here. We zoomed straight from work. Look at this. Today I had to go get my kids. I'm covered in dirt. I still got my work shirt on. Bam! You know how we do over here. MMA Underground. I even got some food for after the show too. Look at that. I got my kids had dino nuggets and french fries. Yeah, I get the special. All right. Oh, Jay said he messaged them. Sweet. Man. So you guys are in for a favorite because, with the segments, there's some cool stuff. I'm going to let you know now. Graphic warning, mine does contain a little bit of blood. Just a heads up in this fight. But, yeah, let's see. You guys having fun? You having a good day today? That's what I'm talking about. Wednesday. Enjoying. We got some anniversaries, both the Scrapyard coming up. Then after that, the West Coast. So it's gonna be banger after banger. We've already had killer events at each of the yards. Shit, I can't even keep up on some of them. Patty versus Oman, that'd be a good one. Oh, coming up, yeah. Shit, there's some interesting MMA fights. I've been slacking a little bit on the UFC, but I was surprised with some of the outcomes recently. But oh man. I was gonna say, Jay or Samke, what do you think? Should we run some segments real quick? See what the people want to check them out?
You got something?
Yeah, heck yeah, I got the buddy. If you forgot, I have to email them. They're the file won't send in the messenger for some reason. So let's see, Jay, if you got that. Maybe. Oh no, the weather. Might be my phone overheating too.
Yeah, we could run it.
That's right, UFC 80, all the way back to 2008 with BJ Penn versus Joe Stevenson. This is one for the books because let me tell you, BJ Penn showed not only a dominant performance, but showed the sheer ferocity that he has as a fighter and with his skill sets. I mean, between the striking and the grappling, he definitely knows what he's doing. And while I'm more of a fan of the grappling, you can see the blood that he had that he finished off at round one for his opponent. And I mean, it's absolutely brutal. There's a reason why these fighters are in the cage on a professional level. And you can see right here as he continues going, they're going into round two, but I mean, it was a close call because they almost had to stop the fight due to blood. And the fact that that almost happened, BJ Penn was not going to let that one get taken away. So as he works his way into a submission, trying to go over for a rear naked choke, you can see he definitely earned his spot as one of a good top fighters to exist. Yeah, BJ Penn, UFC 80. Make sure you check that bad boy out again. Forgotten favorites.
And if for those who
Man,
haven't seen, say for those who haven't seen it, in between that round, they had wax. They were just like packing in there.
damn, sound like a crazy one.
Yeah, that was insane. Yeesh.
But shit, man, if you want to go ahead and wrap it up, we can.
Oh, heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, man. We got to stay on our toes. We can keep you guys on your toes, too, We had between the guests and then my phone overheated and everything else. Yeah, this is definitely one to stay moving and grabbing. Yeah. But I'm having a fun time. Can't keep you guys all night. We know we have people in different time zones. And yeah, Zwell_Buddy V is my Instagram. Zwell World is the Facebook. You have a zwellworld.com, which again, the code SOMK, that is what you're going to do to get the $10 shirt. Cardio is key. And not only is cardio is key, but this is a piece of history. He doesn't just ref and fight at Streetbeefs West Coast. It's almost like he signed the back of the shirt himself. You're going to find his signature on there too. So it's something worth buying because you might have to frame it one day.
You know?
So, yeah, what about you, Somke?
Shit, man. I just want to give a shout out to our guests, man. 2 phenomenal guests. Great show. Shout out to Blakk. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Peruvian Panther. Appreciate you, man. It was great having you. And shout out to Buddy V. Shout out to Jay. We kill it every week. Shout out to Streetbeefs Scrapyard, Streetbeefs West Coast, Streetbeefs Dirty South, and we can't forget Streetbeefs OG Yard. We do this for y'all. Shout out to everyone watching us live, everyone on replay. Appreciate y'all. We do this for y'all. And much appreciation to Heart in the Fight. Much appreciation to zwellworld.com, and much appreciation to OvertimeHustlingMagazine.com. And that's it for me, man.
Heck yeah. Well, then you guys know how we end this show every single time with Jay's famous words. One world, one love, deuces.